everybody. Welcome to This Day. It is Monday, November 23rd, Thanksgiving week. So it's going to be a short week this week for most of those who are working. If not, well, you have fun to look forward to the rest of the week. All right, there are no open meetings to tell you about today, but we will tell you that Jeff Parker is here with an update for Laguna Woods. And then we have Sue Margolis on behalf of United to give us an update on what's happening there. Let's go ahead and go right to our COVID-19 resources for you. You can go to covid19.ca.gov where you can follow along with the governor's plans. OCHealthInfo.com, you get all the COVID numbers by city, state. There's a variety of different ways to look. And you can call their hotline at 714-834-2000. Of course, you could always go to our website, which is LagunaWoodsVillageAlerts.com, where we update that on a regular basis as we receive the latest information. You could email us a comment or concern to info@LagunaWoodsVillage.com. All right, weather is looking quite lovely. A little bit cooler now overnight. So by the weekend, we are going to be looking at some overnights in the 40s. So today, very nice, 65, 53, pleasant tomorrow, 70, 52. Partly cloudy on Wednesday and Thursday with the highs of 67 and 66. And this is when we start to drop into the 40s overnight. Friday, we're looking at a very nice Friday, 73, with an overnight of 45. Now, if you are looking at your sunrise and sunsets, we have a sunrise this morning that was at 6:31, and your sunset will be at 4:44. And I came across this delicious recipe, something totally off the charts for Thanksgiving, which might be a nice change of pace because it's tart and delicious. It's a key lime pie, and that'll help help you sort of get rid of a lot of the fullness of the turkey and all the other stuffing and things that you were eating. You can find this at apinchofhealthy.com, and I made sure that I put easy in there because it is a really easy key lime pie with only a few ingredients. If you would like to send us a recipe or a picture of something that you have maybe made for Thanksgiving, please email it to us at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. All right, when we return, we will have Jeff Parker with a Laguna Woods update. Stay tuned.
At the Memorial Care Breast Center, Saddleback, you will always find a friendly face to guide you through your annual mammogram visit. Our staff, dedicated subspecialist breast radiologists, knowledge, and innovative technology await your visit to our center. With the Laguna Woods shuttle service right at our sidewalk, this convenient location offers you quick access for your appointment. You can expect nothing but the best for all your breast health needs at Memorial Care Breast Center, Saddleback.
To help stop the coronavirus, the CDC recommends to avoid contact with people who are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue, then throw the tissue in the trash. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces. Stay home when you are sick, except to get medical care. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. For more information, contact the CDC. A message from Village Management Services.
Back when we have Jeff Parker here from Friday to Monday. Here we are, and we had a lot to discuss on Friday, and well, that's an old story now. We've got new stuff with COVID-19, and there's been some changes, but nonetheless, welcome.
Well, thank you, and good morning to everybody. On bright Monday is a nice morning to wake up to. Go out for your walk if you can do that in the morning. Cooler temperatures, like you mentioned, so that's kind of the falls in the air.
I'm even seeing the trees change too, and I swear I don't think I remember seeing them so much of a change. So it's really pretty out.
Yeah, it is very pretty, and it's certainly Thanksgiving time.
Yes.
Definitely. So yeah, we have a number of COVID updates for you in the sense of numbers. And as we're seeing throughout the state, Orange County is obviously still increasing numbers. So we're at 552 reported yesterday. Unfortunately, 3 deaths. Those deaths were in residential living areas, so not in skilled nursing and not in assisted living. So that means it's hitting our normal population, let's say. So again, the quest to be careful on that 552. I did want to mention, but the good news, I guess, is it slowed down a little bit, because on Friday, after we talked on Friday, the number came in at 1,169 cases Friday afternoon.
What?
So we hit big jump. You know, we were in that 500, 600 average, and it jumped up to over 1,000 on that Friday.
Wow. So
that's kind of scary. The one I wanted to point out was the 380 in the hospitalizations and the 91 in the COVID, in the ICU relative to COVID. And I think that's important, because back 2 weeks ago, just 2 weeks ago when we were talking, and we had seen a little bit of rise even 2 weeks ago, but we were in 200 hospitalizations.
Yeah.
So we're up 180 compared to 2 weeks ago. And that's certainly that's a concern for everybody. And when they talk about cases that are currently in ICU with regards to using the capacity of that ICUs and everything, that's really kind of critical. So that's the negative news, I guess. And a lot of people are getting tested. Look at that tested reported today. 19,000 people are getting tested.
Wow.
I think that's what,
a lot more folks.
if you see it on TV, people are going every which way to get tested. A lot of the reasons is they're either hosting a family this weekend, or they're going somewhere, or thinking about it. I saw, I think it was yesterday or the day before, Dodger Stadium, which has been doing a big one. I mean, they were like traffic jam for hours just waiting to get in.
Yeah.
So, but it's a good news that people are getting tested, because that really does help understand where it's going, how it's being transmitted, and who's transmitting it. So that's
exactly. And you know, I think that the discussion really has been, we don't want to overwhelm our health system, and that's really what's been the discussion the entire time.
Exactly.
So now we're seeing numbers that are higher, which means health systems will be impacted at some point. Do you happen to know, are a lot of these numbers, are they sporadic or spread across the county, or are they more of a North County, South County? Are you aware of any of that?
Yeah, we do know that when you look at these numbers, and that third number there, the red one, that 5.5 is that health quartile. That really is a average, whereas if you took the positivity rate, which is 4.6 for the whole county, and then you see that 5.5, what's the difference? Well, what they've been looking at is there are certain areas, certain zones, and I'll use zip codes, and they use census tracts and everything like that are higher in Orange County, in North Orange County, in the highly populated areas of Anaheim, Westminster, Santa Ana. So we do know that there are pockets that have much higher COVID numbers than what we do here in the Village, or what we do here in Laguna Woods, or even in South Orange County per se. A few hot spots in South Orange County, but South Orange County's done pretty well, I would say. Unfortunately, we're still way up there on the cases per 100,000 at 10.8 on an average, which that's what put us up into the purple zone. So we got to get that down to under 8. And that's going to take a little while.
I think so.
Given the numbers that we're seeing out there.
Right.
So,
and like you said, more people are being more proactive in being tested, which then could result in a higher number of cases, even though, because they were talking about, well, even though you may not have symptoms, you still could have COVID-19.
It could be that we see more cases. Of course, hopefully the counter is when you start to look at the average of that 100,000 population. But certainly, the more you test, the more cases you get, it could potentially keep that number up there for a while.
Right. Wow. Yeah, still a lot of mystery, you know, around the coronavirus, and once you go into the disease being COVID-19, I mean, it's really still up, you know, a lot of mystery around it.
I think the one thing that is kind of disconcerting for the community out there is that with the state trying to do as much as they can to try to control this, and I'm not sure that even with the medical profession, you know, it's like wearing your mask all the time, wash your hands, and, you know, being socially distanced. It's working. They know it works, but to what level does it work?
Right.
And so I think that's really the challenge. I mean, you and I were talking about the fact that, state says, let's have a curfew from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Is that curfew going to have a fundamental change with COVID-19, because obviously COVID-19 doesn't know what time it is. It's moving and shaking all the time, right?
Right.
So, but I think what it really is trying just to reduce the interaction of people and slow that down. And hopefully that slowing down is going to. I read a very interesting article last night, the correlation between the Spanish flu in 1911 and where we're at now. They went through the same thing in Thanksgiving period, where they saw a spike go up prior to Thanksgiving and right after Thanksgiving, because people were basically saying, we're going to gather, we're going to get together. So I think what the CDC and the state and all of the states pretty much are saying, hey, if you can restrict that travel, if you can restrict having big gatherings at Thanksgiving, do that. We announced on Friday's blast that Zoom, which is one way people can communicate, especially with families that are out of state. They used to have a limit on the amount of time that you could be on a Zoom call. Now they've waived that for the holidays, so people can be on Zoom.
I did not know that. That's a great
So we
piece
put
of
that out in the
information.
blast, so there's information about that in the blast. So.
Yeah.
And that's nice, because obviously people want to see each other and people want to talk to each other, and it should be a festive time in a sense, but it is kind of right now controlled and making it a little difficult to communicate.
It is, but thank goodness for that technology that we are able to communicate with one another, because if we didn't have it, where would we be? I mean, I guess you could still call on the phone, you could still do that, but it's kind of nice to be able to see them,
Absolutely.
So I'm certainly thankful for that technology, so that is awesome.
Absolutely. And one of the other things I wanted to mention, which is not COVID, it's COVID driven maybe a little bit, is I want to again mention that out at Restaurant 19 is doing Thanksgiving. So again, on our website and on the blast, we gave the information out about how you could order your Thanksgiving dinner from them.
Oh, good. And that was a to-go thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so still, if that's something that interests you, to our community, avail yourself to that, because that's good for us too, and good for the community to have it here, local, and have a good service like that.
Right. Although it's really hard to say I'm not going to cook my turkey at home, because all day it smells so good in your house.
Well, maybe there are just going to be fewer people there, but you can still go ahead and
Maybe you could light
great leftovers.
You could light a turkey candle, and then you can have the whole day, and then you can have your food and not have to worry about cleanup.
There you go.
Yeah, because that's always the biggest problem. But anyway, all right. Well, thank you for the information, and we won't be seeing you this Friday.
Right.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Well, thank you so much, and you too, and to the community out there, stay safe and be good.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
And we'll be right back with Sue Margolis and a United update. Stay tuned.
At the Memorial Care Breast Centers, our sole focus is to save lives through annual mammograms. We've implemented the following safety measures to keep you safe during your appointment. All patients are screened upon entry and will be asked to wear a mask. Waiting areas and dressing rooms have been rearranged and are being disinfected more frequently. Appointment times are staggered for social distancing. All staff are screened upon entry and wear appropriate PPE. Our standalone breast centers are located throughout our communities, and with easily accessible locations from Long Beach to Rancho Mission Viejo, we're here for you, close to home.
Welcome back. Today I'm joined by Sue Margolis, who is here on behalf of United with an update. Well, hi, Sue. How are you today?
Good morning. How are you today?
Good, good. Doing well. Thank you for joining me today. I know you guys have been very busy at, trying to wrap up some things and move on to the next session here.
Starting a new year is always difficult.
Yes, no kidding, especially under our current conditions. So what happened this last time?
Well, this is the time of year that we are on the board are getting started thinking of how we did last year and what we could do to improve services and areas where we fell short. We've looked at what other organizations have successfully done to improve and have decided to begin following a similar plan. In other words, we hope to include quality improvement advances into our operations. This will give us something to measure to see if we're doing indeed improving the level of service that we can offer the community. So the first step in a quality management system is to document what we do. And that's what we're doing right now. At that end, the board is writing standard procedures for all the tasks the board's required to get done. This will make it so the future boards will understand what is to be done, because when you get on, you have no idea.
Right.
And this also will make it give the continuity to the work of the board. We're only on there for 3 years. The advantages are obvious. New board members and those with limited knowledge in some areas will be able to function from the get-go. So that's where we're at there. After the documentation has been written, which will take some time, we will validate it by doing audits. We will see if we're really doing what we have documented. And we hope to use residents to help us with these audits.
Okay, that's a good idea, because I was talking to a couple of new board members, and it can be very overwhelming because you are stepping into some big shoes. So doing something like this, I think, is really helpful. So that's a good idea.
Other practices we plan to have are the corrective action request. If there is a systemic problem, we will write a request that VMS explore what is the problem and give us the root cause of the problem, so we can change the documentation or the process so it never occurs again. Finally, we'll be monitoring and measuring key indicators such as customer complaints, operating cost to budget, projects to schedule. We'll be looking for trends and hope the indicators are improving. Last year, there was many measurements, so we have a baseline and we can start from where we are and see if we can improve. Above all, this will take training, perseverance, and cooperation, and we will want the assistance of the residents in this endeavor. And we'll be asking all residents to provide us feedback and suggestions on how we can improve. One area we're going to investigate is landscaping operations. I know many of you are disappointed at the level of landscaping that we now have, and we will be working on that. But I do want to explain why it is that it differs from what PCM provided us. Let's look where we have come from. The perception that PCM did a better job. PCM prioritized particularly taking care of what you immediately see, not investing in the underlying infrastructure. Under PCM, dry rot was merely painted over, much quicker and cheaper than fixing the problem. The resident complained about a water backup in the pipe. They roto-rooted it until the pipe cleared, easy, cheap, and quick. But all that led to further deterioration of the quality of our water pipes and their interconnects. We are now saddled with water infrastructure that requires expensive water mitigation work. They left us with no placement parts for our electric panels, and they took a 10% profit from your assessments. So there is a difference. And at the time, much of our landscaping workforce commuted from Mexico, providing us with cheap labor, something we no longer have. We cannot return to the environment of 7 years ago or more. The village has aged, the costs of utilities has risen greatly, labor costs have become outrageous, and new residents have different priorities from those who were here 7 years ago. We're adapting to that, and we need your help. Today, we're spending our money quite differently, and it makes keeping up appearance more difficulty. To have the landscaping at the same level as when PCM was in charge, we would have to spend $150 per manor per month. We are spending $70. We are holding costs down and doing our best. That is not to say we can't do better, and that's why we have this year made our direction to work on quality. We want everyone to feel that they live in a comfortable, well-maintained home. The board sees its responsibility to ensure the financial stability, maintain the manners and landscaping, and provide a safe environment and minimize costs.
So when you're talking about what you're looking for from the residents, what do you want them to help you with?
Well, we will be asking them to give us feedback on everything that's being done. And we get plenty of it, but we'd like more constructive feedback, not just complaining, saying how they think that things could be done differently. Telling us that their lawn didn't get mowed perfectly isn't going to make a difference today, because lawns grow in 3 days and it'll look different in 3 days.
Right.
What we need to know is what the systemic problems are.
Okay.
In that type of situation.
Now, have you guys thought about maybe doing a survey where you could survey things and then have feedback from them that way?
Well, we have thought about that, and that's fairly expensive, and you never get quite what you expect, and it's difficult to put together a survey. We've been talking about it since I've been on the board about a survey, and then we never know what we want to know, and so it's a difficult situation with that. Okay. So we do have experts in the village that would be willing to help us put together a survey. So we might be looking at doing that. But the feedback is so small of a percentage, it's hard to figure out if you really got the right thing.
Well, right. And I guess it's just a matter of you continuously asking for the information to let them know and to remind them, because I mean, the minute you go off TV or you go off one of the meetings, they probably forget. And so I think something that came to mind was the census. We kept plugging it a lot about wanting feedback about the census, and you guys reached an 87% of the census or something crazy high. So maybe something like that. But, always let Village Television know how we can help you guys get the word out.
We appreciate you, and we find that you are really doing a wonderful job. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thanks for joining me again, and we'll see you next time.
Okay.
All right. And we'll be right back after this.
Most real estate agents stick to the 3 Ps of marketing. They place it on the MLS, they put up a sign, and pray that it sells. Laguna Premier Realty takes a different approach to marketing your home. From professional and high-quality photos to high-definition video, single property websites, and 3D virtual tours. We will make your property stand out and, most importantly, sell. So whether you are looking to list your current home or find your dream home in the village, Laguna Premier Realty is here to help.
Back, we have a great movie for you today. It's called Billy Elliot, and you can watch that today at 2 p.m. with subtitles and 6 p.m. without subtitles, and that is brought to you by Hogue. And I'll give you just a brief description. The life of 11-year-old Billy Elliot, a coal miner's son in northern England, is forever changed one day when he stumbles upon a ballet class during his weekly boxing lesson. Before long, he finds himself in dance, demonstrating the kind of raw talent seldom seen by the class's exacting instructor. So it is a really cute film of a young boy, obviously, who just has decided he'd like to change what he wants to do and become a ballet dancer. All right, let's go ahead and talk about a couple of other things that are going on. We have Thanksgiving holiday hours that we want to tell you about. No bus service will be available on Thanksgiving Day. However, the day after Thanksgiving, Plan a Ride service is open to all village residents from 8 to 4. The last pickup is at 3:30 p.m. And if you would like to make a reservation, you can call 949-597-4659. And then also on December 1st, which is next week, there will be a mental health forum from the Council on Aging. Of course, right now, everybody is quite concerned about the impact of COVID-19 and the isolation that happens with many people. They can develop depression and a variety of other things. So they're going to talk about this, and it's from 9:30 in the morning to noon. And if you would like to participate in the Zoom webinar, you would just have to go to the mentalhealthforum.eventbrite.com, and you can go ahead and get a link and participate with that. And let's also talk about, not that we're talking about Thanksgiving food, but then there's even more food to participate in as we go into December. December 5th, there is an evening apart but together. And you can join along Chef Azmin Gahraman of Sapphire Culinary Group, who is going to teach you how to cook something. So what you do is you order your food. A single dinner is $75 and a dinner for two is $150, and you get your tickets at myagewell.org. And this is on December 5th at 6 p.m. So you would order ahead of time to participate, log into your Zoom call, and then you would go ahead and cook alongside. I think it sounds pretty neat, something different to do. And then as we mentioned, you can have some difficulty with some of those hours for Thanksgiving, but there is the Senior Mobility Program where you can call them and potentially get a ride during Thanksgiving. So you're going to want to call Resident Services for that at 949-597-4600, or of course you can email them at residentservices@vmsinc.org. And then just to give you a sneak peek of what's happening in December 5th, there is going to be a Deck Your Cart with lots of jolly parade, which is so exciting. So that's December 5th, so I wanted to give you an idea of what's going on there. Now, if you want to participate in that, you will want to register, and you're going to have to call for more information, 949-597-4273, or email recreation@vmsinc.org. So I wanted to get you in on that so you can check it out. Let's take a look at our weather. As I mentioned, it's quite lovely. And 65-53 today, 70-52 tomorrow, and then partly cloudy on Wednesday and Thursday, but the temperatures are just in the high 60s and the lows are starting to head into the 40s. And then by Friday, we're looking at 73 with an overnight of 45. All right, you have a great day in the village today. You can see us again here tomorrow, Tuesday at 9 a.m. Stay healthy and have a good Monday. Bye-bye.
Are starting to feel the financial impact of COVID-19, commonly called coronavirus. But we want you to know that there is help. We have disability insurance for workers who are ill or medically quarantined due to COVID-19. Paid family leave is available for those caring for an ill or medically quarantined family member, and unemployment insurance for reduced hours or lost work. We're all in this together. For information on how to stay healthy, visit covid19.ca.gov.
Now there's a new way to buy a new Lexus. It's called Car Dash, only available at southcountylexus.com. It's amazingly simple. Visit southcountylexus.com, select and reserve your new or pre-owned vehicle that comes with a 5-day love it or leave it guarantee. Apply for credit, calculate your payment, and even appraise your trade-in. You can even have the vehicle delivered, all online, saving you valuable time. Push a button, get a Lexus. At South County Lexus, different is amazing.
We consider hearing to be an essential part of your life. During this time of quarantine and isolation, you need to be hearing the best you can to understand how to stay safe and to hear your friends and family. Advanced Ear Care is offering service to everyone that needs help with their hearing aids, no matter where it was you purchased. If it's not working properly, please call for a free troubleshooting appointment. We even have hands-free, no-contact curbside service. There's no charge for this service. Advanced Ear Care is here to keep you hearing during these critical days.
Tip, toss, take action. Don't give mosquitoes a fighting chance.